What's up guys, JV2017 here, and today we're discussing the new Update 1.4 patch for Fallout 4 that just went live yesterday on PC. The update has been in beta for the past week on Steam, but now it is officially live and public. And unfortunately, Bethesda hasn't given a timetable for the console version of this update, but they've said that they'll share more info on that soon. And of course, I'll let you console players know when it goes live on PS4 and Xbox One in the comments below once we learn that information. So in this video, I'll give you a general overview of what is introduced in this patch, which will include new features as well as the most widespread fixes for the game. Of course, I can't cover all my bases, so I'm really focusing on what I feel is the most important stuff. So if you're one of those people who would rather just read the notes for yourself, or you're looking for a specific fix, I totally understand, and I've left a link for you in the description below. Starting off with the new features, they have added support for add-ons. Obviously, we're getting the Automatron DLC sometime here in this month in March. Now it's March 1st, so we should be expecting that soon, and so they're pretty much laying the groundwork so they can release that for us and it'll be ready. So that's what that support for add-ons is. And also we have additional art customization added to the workshop. This includes super mutant clutter, which is a few different items that you can mess around with and place in your workshops, some raider clutter, which is similar, just raider themed, and then also we've got various paintings, signs, and doors that have been added as well. There are a lot of interesting little pieces that they've added into this, and you'll see me mess around with them throughout this video in the background. Moving on to general fixes. Of course, we always have the general stability and performance improvements. I've read on Reddit that some people are seeing some of the micro stuttering on PC go away, which is kind of a nice little thing that they have there. So they are improving the game in that respect in small little increments, but you shouldn't see just a giant overhaul, massive change. I think they really work on specific issues, once at a time and release them over these updates monthly. We also have this interesting settlement attack display. So if your settlement gets attacked and you're not able to actually help it, a display will pop up and say, this is what happened to your settlement, everyone got killed, or they were able to fend off the attack. So it's nice to be able to have that information, and now we will see a display for that. They've also fixed a duplication glitch or exploit with shipments. So you were able to duplicate shipments in the past in order to get a ton of materials. You can't do that anymore. And I know on PC, if you're wanting to get a ton of materials, you really can just use console commands or go to the dev room, the QA smoke room essentially, and grab all those things. I think this is more going to affect console players because this will roll out to the consoles and it'll take away the ability to duplicate shipments. And that's how a lot of console players are able to build their awesome sprawling settlements, and that kind of sucks. So hopefully in the Wasteland Workshop DLC, they're able to address that and give console players a way to get a ton of, resources, a ton of materials in order to build very quickly. Next, we're looking at specific quest fixes, and there's only 2 quests that they reference in this, so there weren't a lot of these. First is the Getting a Clue quest, which is a main story mission, and Kellogg's desk was not able to, you weren't able to put stuff into his desk. It wasn't a container, and now it is. Now, I'm not sure what the significance of that is. Remind me, guys, I haven't played the story in a while, so I don't know if that's really, significant or not. It doesn't seem significant, but anyways, they fixed it. And also, in Rocket's Red Glare, companions can be dismissed after completing that quest. So there was a bug where you could not dismiss companions after completing Rocket's Red Glare. That has been fixed now. That sounded pretty, playthrough breaking, so I'm glad they were able to fix that. Now looking at perk fixes, there were several perks that were fixed in this patch, and they're actually pretty cool. First off, we have the Demolition Expert rank 4. This was supposed to increase the explosion radius of your explosives. Now that works properly, and it does increase that radius. So for explosive-based builds, this is definitely a good thing. Scrounger now includes additional ammo types. I'm really happy about this, especially for 44 ammo. I know a lot of you are going to say, I have thousands of 44 ammos. What are you talking about? Personally, in my playthroughs, I've never been able to find a lot of 44 ammo. Maybe I'm not looking in the right places, but Scrounger will now affect 44 ammo. I didn't believe that it did before, but now it should, and also additional ammo types. So if you want to make a build, surrounding Kellogg's pistol, which is a fantastic pistol, before, it's like I couldn't find ammo for this thing, but now I can, and I should be able to. Now you should be able to make a pretty nice Magnum-based gunslinger build. Rank 3 of Grim Reaper Sprint also works properly now. It was supposed to obviously refill your action points. Now it works properly, so it should work as you would expect it to. And Finally, we have Ninja and Sandman. The combination of taking both of those perks now works properly for the damage bonus. And they don't specify whether it was, not rewarding the proper damage or it was giving us too much damage. It just says that it now calculates properly. So obviously this is for a silenced pistol build or a silenced anything build. That's how Sandman works in this game. And now it's going to work properly. We don't know if this is a buff or a nerf. Finally, the last grouping of fixes is what I'm calling spawn fixes. It's just random objects not spawning properly and preventing you from doing certain things. So first off is Krem's Tooth. There was an issue where Krem's Tooth would just not spawn at the bottom of Dunwich Boars, which is really frustrating. I made a weapon guide on that as I, did a series on my channel where I covered a lot of the unique weapons in the game, and some people were commenting back saying, hey, the thing's not here. What did I do wrong? And some people were saying, hey, well, the Krem's Tooth, the actual mod can drop on a machete, just from a legendary enemy out in the world. And that was kind of the thought on that issue for a while. But now, we know it was just genuinely an issue they had to fix in the game where it wasn't spawning in certain, playthroughs, which really sucks. I would hate to make a melee-based character and then, my one playthrough is just screwed because of this random issue. So now that has been fixed for your melee-based characters, if you start a new playthrough, there should be no problem with Krem's Tooth not spawning. It should be there now. They fixed an issue where items would not clear, I guess, off of the ground when you're using a scope. So if you're in a scope, you kill somebody, maybe there's some debris and explosion, things would not clear off of the ground. That has been fixed now. They also fixed an issue where Calvin Whitaker, which is an NPC in Vault 81, would suddenly disappear for no rhyme or reason. That won't happen anymore, so if you need anything significant from Calvin Whitaker, he will be there now. I actually wasn't aware of this, but Calvin Whitaker is the repairman of Vault 81, and there's actually an unmarked quest related with him. You can actually sell him certain tools, and he'll give you a nice amount of caps per tool, 15 caps per tool, which is a lot, a lot more than you would get from a normal vendor, and it doesn't seem to be affected by charisma. So if you have like adjustable wrenches, ball peen hammers, combination wrenches, hammers, screwdrivers, wrenches, anything of that nature, he will buy it off of you if you're not looking to just scrap that for your own materials for your settlement. The last little fix I wanted to touch on is the key cards in Vault 75. If you didn't know, Vault 75 is a place where you need to, it's a complete maze, first off. Very odd design. It's very hard to get through there. But second off, you need certain key cards in order to get into sections, and you have to go to a certain area to get that key card, and on and on. And apparently there was an issue where the key cards were not dropping off of certain individuals or not spawning in their locations. That's not an issue now, so if you go into Vault 75, you won't have to worry about those things not spawning. They work properly now. Once again, this was really hitting the high points and the important things that I saw in the patch notes, but I urge you guys to check out the description below for a link to the official patch notes if you're looking for a specific issue that I did not cover. And also, I'd like to hear from you guys. What are your thoughts on this patch? Did this do anything for you? Did this fix anything directly affecting your game? And also, what are some things you'd like to see in a future patch? Some fixes that you think are urgent, that, Bethesda needs to fix soon? Let me know. Share all of that in the comments section below. Before we wrap up the video, I'm sure some of you are wondering where, survival mode is. They've talked about survival mode. It should be pushing out very soon, at least on beta at first on Steam. It doesn't appear that they've even referenced that in this update 1.4 in this patch. So we don't really know. I do believe it's going to be pushed out separately. It's not going to be bundled with an update, at least, reading everything that I've seen Todd Howard say and Bethesda say. I don't think it's going to be wrapped up in a specific update. I think it's going to be pushed out in beta on Steam, and we don't know when that's going to be. It should be pretty soon, I would think, in the next few weeks, but we don't know about that with this patch yet. Alright guys, today I shared my thoughts on the update 1.4 patch for Fallout 4, and next time we will cover more Fallout on my channel, so stay tuned for Fallout 4 tips and tricks videos. If you learned something new, remember to hit that like button, I would really appreciate it, and don't forget to subscribe for more DLC coverage, build guides, and general tips and tricks videos. Talk to you guys next time. Peace!